Oh, hello, guys. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Guys, I just want to start by apologizing for the longest time that I took to post the video. So this video, I'm just posting it because the matric are busy writing and they still want something new from me that they can use to practice with. So they have begged me so much on my WhatsApp. Some even came to my workplace to say, please, we just need your assistance as we are going to write our final. So okay, I'm not in a right state of being on social media right now, but I just wanna do this for my kids, okay, for everyone out there that this question paper is going to be so helpful to them, okay. So I care so much for you guys. That's why I'm not charging you anything. I'm just giving free knowledge here, okay. So but what I promise you now is that I'm going to post tips on how to pass math lit on your own, okay. I will just give you something that it will give you plus minus 50%. Actually, it's a plus 50%. With the strategy that I'm going to give you, it's gonna give you 50% upwards, okay. So just stay tuned. I'm just going to make 2 videos for now, and then the third video is going to be the strategies on how to pass math lit. Make sure that you subscribe and then you like, you share with everyone that is doing metric or anyone that is gonna be helpful to them, okay. So for now, I'm going to take you through on the Free State prelim that was written in 2023, okay. So let's get on it. On this paper, I'm also going to do at least 3 questions, okay. I have a reason why I do 3 questions, okay. All right, just want to zoom in here. Okay, question number 1. Tando received the slip below after purchasing a prepaid water at one of the approved vendors. Okay, so when we look at the pay slip there, we can see the blue approved tax invoice, Mangaung Metropolitan Municipality, and in the credit token, we are given the units, also at the cost per unit. Okay, so we can see the VAT, we can see the total units. That was the total units there of 52.50. Here they are. I don't have a pen. Here they are, 52.50, and we have the receipt number, we have the meter number, we have the date of the purchase. Okay, so let's get on to the first question. Remember guys, here you need to relax your mind. When you're writing the exam in such question, you don't need to think too much, okay. The answers are just simple, you understand. Like the first one, they say write down Tando's meter number. So we just go back and we look for the meter number. When you look on top, you are not given any meter number there, okay. But when you come on the bottom, you are given the receipt number, you are given the meter number, you're given the date. But what is it that this question need? The question need the meter number, meaning that our meter number, we're just going to write this number the way it is. Then that is our first answer there, 41150801599. Okay, let's go to the second one. They say identify the maximum number of kiloliters that can be bought at 9 rand. I can say 9 rand 66 cent, okay, per kiloliters. So when you come back here, this is where we're going to look at. So when we look at this, the 9 rand 66 cents per kiloliter, there it is. So what is the maximum kiloliters? Remember, if you go to my videos where I was teaching you the tariffs, you'll understand this is the summarized, because when they start, they will tell you that from 0 to 6. So you'll have to know that how many kiloliters are between here. So they are 6. So what is this number? This is the maximum. And then what is the minimum? The minimum is 0. You understand? So when you come to the second one, I think this was how many? 9. So it was going to be from 7 to 15. From 7 to 15, therefore we have 19. So in this case, 7 is the minimum number and 15 is the maximum number, okay. So in this case, our answer now is going to be 6 kiloliters, okay. Then now they say write in full the type of tax charged for the water as shown in the context. So the type of the tax that we are given there is VAT, but they say that type of a tax, since it is VAT, write it in full. So when we write VAT in full is what? Is value added tax. Okay, then they say show how the amount of VAT, show how the VAT amount was calculated. So when we look at our VAT amount is what? Is 195.89. So what you have to know is that you cannot have this total before the VAT. So it means we cannot use this amount, but we need to use what? This total. So it means that this amount is a what? Is a VAT exclusive amount. Okay? Is the VAT exclusive amount. So now we are given the VAT exclusive, then we need to calculate the VAT amount. So what are we going to do? We're going to say 1305.95 multiply by, okay, let me write my multiply here. Multiply by, what is it that we need? Remember, we have the 100%, we have the 15, and then we have the 115. So this is the VAT exclusive, this is the VAT, this is the VAT inclusive. Okay, so now we want the VAT amount. Okay, we want the VAT amount. So we know that the VAT is represented by 15. It means that we are going to put the 15 on top. Then on the bottom, what do we put? We check this amount. Is this amount the inclusive or the exclusive? According to this slip, this amount is the exclusive. So we are going to put 15 on the bottom here. Then our VAT amount, therefore we're going to get 195.89. So that is how they calculate. So make sure that you show this, because when you write your test, this is not going to have any mark. The marks are going to be here. Right. Number 5, they say define the term tariff in the given context. Now you ask yourself, what is a tariff? Okay, so when we talk about the weight tariff now, we talk about the what? The amount of rent charged. The amount of rent charged, let me write it here. The amount of rent charged. I cannot say rent. Rent charged per kilo liter, because they want this answer in what? In this context. So in this context, they're talking about the kiloliters. If they were talking about the electricity, we're going to say the amount of rent charged per kilowatts. Okay, then they say determine the missing value, the cost of using 15 kiloliters of water in the context above. Okay, let's go there. So when you look at the 15 kiloliters, they're going to say, they're saying for these 15 kiloliters, they are going to charge 25,2300. So this is simple. How do we do that now? So we're going to say, okay, let me come here. We're just going to say 15 multiplied by 25. Was it 25? Yes, 25,2300. Then how much is it? Let's see. 15 multiplied by 25,2300. That gives us the amount of 378,45. Like that. Okay, then that is our first question. Now let's go to the second question. The second question now, 1.2. Below is the monthly number of trips made by 2 local taxis between Tabangu, or was it? I don't know how to pronounce that. And Botshabelo from January to December. Okay, so we have 2 taxis. So if you count here, let's count. They say from January to December. So we are expecting that these are the trips in January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, until December. Okay, so when we come to taxi number 2 is the same thing. It means we have 12 months here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Because They are talking about from January to December. Okay, so let's start now. They say state whether the data above is regarded as numerical or categorical. Now let's talk about this. Ne? When what they're talking about here, they talk about the number of trips. Okay, so I'm just going to differentiate between the numerical data and the categorical data now. Okay, so when we talk about the numerical data, we talk about a data that can be counted. If you just explain it in this way, you get your marks. Data that can be counted, then you got your marks. Okay, so now when we talk about what the categorical, when we talk about the categorical data, what type of a data are we talking about? We talk about a data that can be measured. So I hear people talking about a decimal, what the fraction. I don't understand those things, you understand? Because I always look at my interest. Where do I understand the best? You understand? So in this case, let's differentiate now. Let's check. Here they talk about the number of the taxis. I mean the number of the trips. So the number of the trips, can they be counted or they can be measured? Okay, so now we know that when you need to know how many trips the taxi took, they have to be counted. The trips have to be counted. You understand? It means this is a what? This is a numerical data. Okay, now they say identify the outlier of the monthly taxi trips. Okay, so when we talk about the outlier, we talk about a number that is out there at the beginning. You understand? But then now they are not telling you, is it taxi 1 or taxi 2? But what is the catch here? They are telling you that trips, it means you need to combine taxi 1 and taxi 2, so that now you can find the number that is at the beginning there. Meaning that we are only going to look at what? We are going to look at the at the smallest number there. So let's look here. What is the smallest number here? When we check, the smallest number here is 42. Let's check the smallest number here. The smallest number I see 74 is 74. Then now we check 42 and 74. Which one is the smallest? It's going to be 42. That means our then the outlier is what? Is 42. Now they say arrange in ascending order the number of the monthly trips for taxi 1, because when you look at taxi 2, they are already arranged in ascending order, I believe so, or they are not arranged. There are some few numbers there that are not arranged, but then here we only need to focus on taxi 1. So let's arrange. The first number that I see there, I see 42, and then let's check 42. I see 103. I see 104. 104. I see 110, 113. I see 110, 113, 117. And then I see this 108. In between here there is 108. I skipped 108. I just saw it here. Then I have 117. Then I have 118, 118. I thought it was 118, 118, 118. Then we have 120, 121, 121, and 124, 124. I think I'm done. So now what is it that I'm going to do? I'm going to count this number to make sure that they are 12. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Why are they 11? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It means there's a number that is 130. I have 130 there. Then they are 12. Then I have arranged my data in ascending order. Then they say, determine the month in which the most trips were made by taxi 2. So when we look at the taxi 2, already this is Jan, Feb, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. So we look at the highest number there. So when we look at the highest number, we get that is 126, which represent December there. So that means our answer is December there. Now they say the interquartile range for taxi 1 is 13,5. Write out IQR in full. So IQR stands for the interquartile range. 3 marks there. Okay, then we're done. Let's go to 1.3. 1.3, they say Mpumi crafts wooden beds that he sells at a tourist attraction in Mpumalanga. The beds will be black for B or white W in color. Each bed will have a touch of either red, yellow, or green. Okay, so there we can see them. Okay, now let's go to the table below. The table below, they say the table below illustrates the different option of bed colors and touch. Okay, now they say name the type of illustration represented by the table. What is the illustration there? Okay, so the illustration here is a what? We call this type of an illustration a what? A two-way table. This is a two-way table because we look at what? Look at this. We look at this. The two-way table. It also it shows you the numbers on the horizontal, and it also shows you what? The vertical. So it's a two-way. We have the information on the horizontal. We have the information on the vertical. So we call that a two-way table. Now they say complete the missing label number 1 and number 2. Okay, so when we look at this on top here, they are talking about the colors. So we look at the colors. The first one is red, it is mentioned, and then they didn't mention this one, but they mentioned green. But then they talked about 3 colors. So the color that was not there is what? Is yellow. It means that one is yellow. Then number 2 here, they talk about the touches. Now if it's gonna have white, if the bed is going to be white, and then what color is this one? This color is red, so it's going to be WR, because we talk about white for the W for white, and then R for red, because in this column they talk about the red. Okay, now they say determine the total number of possible outcomes. So our first outcome is what? BR, BY, BG. So here we have how many outcomes? We have 6 outcomes. Okay, and that is the end of our first question. Okay, so if there's something that I missed to explain in the way that you understand, please write it in the comment section there. I think I'll have time to comment on that. Okay, and then I'll tell you, I'll just explain there in the comment section how that goes on. Okay, then let's go to question number 2. I know that I speak fast, but have a means of you can either make the video to go slow so that you can hear me very well. Okay, so question number 2, it have the annexure there. Question number 2, the table 1 on annexure A indicate the expenditure in different national departments in South Africa, in the South African government. Okay, so what we need to do, we go straight to the annexure. I have the annexure here ready for us, which is the addendum table. So I'm just gonna try to move this. Yeah, I'm just going to try and move this. Yeah, let it come up here. Okay, so here's the table. I'm just gonna go through with you on this table. So on this table, we are given the basic education, we are given the post-school education. Okay, I'm not going to read all of this. We are given the compensation of employees, how much the employees have been paid. Okay, then we have what the purchasing of goods and services, capital spending, current transfer and subsidies, interest payment, and then we have the total. But what you need to understand is that this table show you what it shows you, this the government expenditure. Okay, so let's move on. So when we move on, let's go to the questions. Now they say, explain the meaning of the term employee in the context. So and we know that employee is someone working, but then in this case, where is this person working? Okay, so that table there, it shows the government expenditure, meaning that when we talk about the employee in this context, we talk about the person employed in government departments. Can put it in that way and get your marks. Okay, then they say, show how the total amount of 522.8 was calculated. Okay, let's look at that. Where is that amount? There it is, this total. Okay, but then you have to bear in mind that this is in what? In billion. So when they say in billion, it means they have omitted 9 zeros here. They couldn't write the whole thing because there was not going to be enough space. Okay, so when they say in billion, you have to bear in mind that they have removed 9 zeros. That makes up a billion. So any number here, if you want to know how much is this number in full, you multiply this by 1 billion, then you will get it. How much is it in full? Okay, so for us to get this number, we are going to add everything here and we'll get that. Okay, I'm not going to write that. Those are the main numbers there. Then now they're saying, give one possible reason why the expenditure for the compensation of employees in the basic education department is higher than that of other departments. So now when you look at the government employees, when you talk about education, basic education, remember basic education, it talks about the high school and also the primary. You understand? So the reason why they have the highest compensation there is because the basic education has many employees. Okay, so our reason is that basic education has more employees. Then they say the Department of Home Affairs was allocated a total of 11.2 billion in 2019-2020 financial year. Calculate the percentage expenditure incurred by this department. So what it means is that this question, they have given them to spend 11.2 billion. But look at what Home Affairs have spent. When you look at the Home Affairs, where's the Home Affairs? Oh, the Home Affairs is here. When you look at the Home Affairs have spent how much? It have spent 8.5. So they want to know how many percent did they spend. Okay, so how are we going to do that? So we're going to take what they have spent, and then we divide by what they were given, multiply by 100. Then we get how many percent did they use. So if you look at these people, and then the question state whether the department had a surplus or a deficit. I will explain after calculating that one. So when we say 8.5 divided by 11.2 multiply by 100, it gives us 75.9%. It means they have used 75.9% of what they were given. Now let's talk about the surplus or the deficit. The surplus refers to you have used less than what you were given. Your mom gives you 10 rand to go to school for lunch, okay? But you come back home with 5 rand. It means you have a surplus of what you were given. You are still having something in your hand, okay? But now, let's talk about a deficit. What is a deficit? A deficit is when you have used more than what you have. Okay, your mom gives you 10 rand, but you come back home to say, Mama, I owe the kitchen ladies. Why do you owe them? I bought a 15 rand quarter, but your mom gave you 10 rand. It means there you have a deficit of what? Of 5 rand, because you spent what you did not have. Okay, now let's continue to the next one. So in this case, the Home Affairs had a surplus because they have used 8.5, but they were given 11.2. It means they're still having a surplus. Okay, they say, give one example of the type of the transport that can be purchased by the Department of Police. So let's be realistic. If the police department are given a budget, what type of a transport can they buy? Can they buy a train? No. Can they buy an airplane? No. But what is it that they can buy? They can buy, you can say a car, or you can say a van, or you can say a bike, or you can say a truck, or you can say a motorbike. Okay, those are the type of the vehicles that they use daily. So those are the type of the vehicle that you can mention here. Okay, all right, let's move on to number 6. They say the capital spending for community development in 2018-2019 was, okay, 520 million, less than, you see this, very important, this, less than that of 2019-2020. Determine the capital spending in 2018-2019. So when you look at the table, everything that they have given you here is for 2019-2020. Okay, I want you to understand this question before we're going to do the actual calculations here. The community development in 2018-2019 was 520 million less than that of 2019-2020. It means the difference between the capital spending for community development of 2018-2019 and 2019-2020, the difference is what? Is 520 million. Okay? So if it is 520 million, they need you to calculate the previous what? The previous capital spending of 2018-2019. But they are telling you that the one of 2019-2020 is more than that of the previous year. Okay, by how much? By 520 million. Okay, so what are we going to do? We are going to take the current one. Let's check the current one, community development. Okay, here's the community development. We look at the capital spending. So the capital spending, here it is. The capital spending is 78.9. Remember, I told you that when you see a number there is 78. Was it 78 or 75? Capital spending 78.9. Yeah, you must multiply it by a billion. So we're going to multiply here by billion so that we can get the full amount here. Okay, so this is going to be how much? 78 billion 900 million. Okay, yes, I'm correct. So now they are saying this amount is for what? Is for 2019-2020. But they are telling you that this amount is more than the one of 2018-2019 by 520. So what are we going to do to get the amount of that of 2018-2019? We are going to subtract 520 million. Let's subtract 520 million. Sorry. Minus 520. So how much do we get? We get 78 million 78 billion 380 million, and that is our answer there. Okay, then we move on to number 217. We move on to 217. I don't know. Okay, I'm not disturbing. Okay. Number 7, they say the South African government decided to invest 50 million from the contingency reserve at an interest rate of 6.8 compounded. This is very important. Okay, this is the first important thing. This is the principal amount. Then we have the interest, which is the percentage, the interest percentage, and then we have the method. Our method, they say, is compounded annually. It means we earn our interest yearly. It means in a year you earn them once, but when do you earn them? At the end of the year. And they say they have invested for what? 1 year, 6 months. This is what? This is the period. So we have everything to calculate what? To calculate whether our interest amount or we have the final amount of the investment. Okay, so now they say calculate the final amount at the end of the investment period. So what is it that we're going to do? We have everything. So this is the method that I teach my learners. Okay, it's so best. Okay, so what is it that we're going to do? Our principal amount, I do this first, is 100%. Then this principal amount is going to gain 6.8%. And how much is it going to be? It's going to be 106.8%. But I want to change this and write it in full. So this is going to be 106.8 divided by 100. So I want the decimal of this. So this is 1.068. Okay, so listen to what this is telling you. This already, when you use this, already it tells you that you have added the principal amount with the interest. Let's do the first year and see. So the first year, what are we going to do? We are going to say 50 million, because it's the compound. It means that the interest gained interest. So we multiply by 1.068, and let's see how much is it after a year. 50 million multiplied by 1.068, it gives us 53,400,000. It means after 1 year, this is your principal amount plus the interest. Okay, you don't need to calculate the interest separately from, and then you add them back. Already this method, it adds them together at the end of your calculations. Okay, all right, then what must we do now? Now we go to the second year. We go to the second year. But when we go to the second year, remember, it's not the full period. The amount was not invested for the whole year. It was only invested half yearly. Okay, so we are going to change this interest because this is the interest for the whole year. So we need to make this interest for half a year. So what are we going to do? We are now going to say 6.8 divided by 2, which is equals to 3.4. It means the interest for 6 months is going to be 3.4%. So now we're going to generate this again. So we're going to say 100 plus 3.4, and it gives us 103.4. Then we divide it by 100. Then it gives us 1, after converting that, we're going to get 1.034. Therefore, now what are we going to do? We're going to say 53,400,000. 53,400,000 multiplied by 1.034. 53,400, 1, 2, 3, multiplied by 1.034, and that gives us 55,200,000. 215,600. That is going to be the amount after the whole year. So let me show you how I got that 1,03. It's 100% plus 3,4, which is equals to 103,4. Then we say 103,4 divided by 100. And then that is going to be 1,034. That's how we calculated that one. Okay. Then let's continue. Okay, 2.2. In 2.2, they say Tabo, who is an employee at the Department of Health, is banking at the Stan Bank. Table 2 below indicates the banking fees at the Stan Bank. Okay, we have the 2021 fees, and then we have 2022 fees, and the transaction, and also the percentage change. Okay, now let's go and look at the questions. Okay, we have two questions. Then they say, determine the percentage change between 2021 and 2022 transaction fee for withdrawal at Tabo's own bank. Okay, we're going to look at the withdrawals, but we at where? At the own bank between 2021 and 2022. So we look at the own bank. Here's the own bank. Then we look at what? Transaction fee. So there are the transaction fee. So it was 7.50 Rand. Now it's 10 Rand. Okay. So now, how do we calculate the percentage change? When we calculate the percentage change, we say percentage change is equals to new price minus old price divided by old price, which is equals to, what is the new price now? The new price is of the current year. So the current year is 2022. So it's 10 Rand. So you're gonna say 10 Rand minus the previous one is 7.50 Rand. So we divide by 7.50 Rand, then we multiply by 100. I forgot this. Multiply by 100. So we're gonna get our percentage. 10 minus 7.5 divide by 7.5 multiply by 100, and that gives us 33.3%. Okay, and that is our answer right there. Then let's go to the last one of 6 marks. They say Tabo made a withdrawal of 2,000 in 2022. He then stated that he saved more than 30 Rand in banking fees when withdrawing from the point of sale compared to his own bank. Okay. Where is the point of sale? Okay, here is the point of sale. This is the row that we are going to look at. And then what else are we going to check? We're going to check at which year? 2022. Going to look at 2022. When we compare what? Withdrawing from the point of sale compared to his own bank. Okay. We also going to we are going to compare these two for which year? For 2022. For 2022. Okay. So here we've withdrawn 2,000. Let's start with own bank. How much are they going to charge if he withdraw at his own bank? So at his own bank in 2022, they're saying they are going to charge him, you see, 2 Rand for 100 Rand. So now, in simple cases, that is 10 Rand for 500. So when we look at 10,000, I mean 2,000, 2,000 has how many 500? 2,000 divided by 500 is going to give us 4. It means that it has 4 500s. So it means they are going to charge him 10 Rand times 4 for withdrawing 2,000. It means when he makes a withdrawal of 2,000 at his own bank, they are going to charge him 40 Rand. But let's look at the point of sale. At the point of sale, they are not charging per, they are just charging per transaction. Okay, when to make any transaction, they charge you 1 Rand 40 cents. Okay, so let's check how much did he save. So we're going to say 40 Rand minus 1.40 rand. So how much did he save? 40 rand minus 1.40. So he have saved 38 rand 60 cent. So is it more than 30 rand? That is correct. It's more than 30 rand. It means the statement is valid. Then that is the end of question number 2. Okay, then let's go to question number 3. Okay, question number 3. It says table 3 shows the number of household crime records in South Africa for the past 5 years. So we are given those. We have the housebreaking, home robbery, theft, deliberate damage to property, murder, assault, sexual offense. Then they have the totals there. Okay, now they say use the table above to answer the question that follow. State the data collection tool used to collect the above data. So now we need to know which type of the tool was used to collect the data. Remember, in data handling, we have three methods or the tools to use to collect the data. We have interview, we have questionnaire or survey, we have the observation. Okay, so here, because they're talking about the crime, they talk about the sexual offense, how should they know that someone was sexually assaulted? Okay, so that person, they need to do what? They need to issue a survey. You understand? So it means here the type of the tool that they used here is a survey or a questionnaire. Okay, then they say show how the value of 3041 was calculated. So how was it calculated? They have added these numbers. They have added 2199 plus 394 plus 163 plus 40 plus 213 plus 32, and it gave them 3041. Okay, then they say write down the number of home robberies in 2019. How many number of home robberies in 2019? We have 449. And they say in thousand. On top there, they say in thousand. So if it is in thousand, you write 1000 here. It means you're going to multiply each and every number there by 1000. So that means the number of home robberies there, they were 400 and was it 400 and 449,123. Then they say calculate the mean of home robberies in South Africa from 2018 to 2019. So the first thing, how do you calculate the mean? Mean is equals to sum of all values divided by number of values. Okay, how many values have you added on top? Number of values. Okay, so let's check, let's add those sum, but we need to check what home robberies from 2018 to 2022. We look at the home robberies from 2018 up until 2022. It means we're going to add all of these numbers here. So we have I don't know where. Okay, let me just do it here. So we have 459 plus 449 plus 415 plus 312 plus 394. Then we divide by how many are there? We count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we divide by 5. Then that is equals to, let's add 459 plus 449 plus 415 plus 312 plus 394, and that give us it give us 2029 divided by 5. So if we divide that by 5, it gives us 405 800, like that, because we have to multiply the final answer by 1000. So that's going to be our final answer there. Okay, then they say give a possible reason where some crimes are illustrated by the symbol of those asterisks there. Okay, so what I can say is that there was no data there. If there's some, we don't see any number there, so it means there was no data there, or no crime, or no crime reported. These are the possible answers that you can say. No crime reported. Okay, now let's go down to the next question. 3.2, or 3.2 is the last one. Okay, the graph below indicates the safety level of people in their residential area during the day. This is how people are saying: very safe, fair safe, a bit safe, and safe. So when you look down, you are given the name of that graph. They tell you that that graph show you the stats of 2019. In 2019, 49.7 people said they are very safe, but in 2020 we are not given. In 2022 we are given. In 2021 we are also given. Let's go to the question. Name the type of the graph given. Okay, the type of the graph here, because it's a bar graph, but now it's not just one bar graph. Okay, so if you look at this graph, how many are they? 1, 2, 3, 4. So we can no longer say this is a bar graph or a double bar graph. So if this graph they are more than 2, you say these are the multiple bar graph, because they are many. Okay. Then they say determine the increase in percentage of people who felt fairly safe. The increase of people that felt fairly safe. We underline this. It means we're going to look at this between 2019 and 2022. So this is 2019 and 2022. Okay, so what are we going to do? We're just going to say 37,2. They want the difference, right? The increase actually. So, and then we also minus 31,1. So that is 37,2 minus 31,1. So the increase is 4,1%. Okay, let's move to the next one. Okay. The next one is said the number of people who felt unsafe when working in the residential area during the day in 2020 was 2.85 million. Determine the number of people to the nearest 100,000 in South Africa in 2020. So when you go to 2020, we need to know how many percent of people that are that felt unsafe. Let's go to unsafe, and then let's look at 2020. Let's not forget 2020 is this one. But when you look at this one, you don't have a percentage there. So what you need to do, you have to estimate the correct number there. I don't know how you're going to do that, but you need a ruler there, obviously. So because now we need to estimate a number here, so it means our number has to be below 5 here. Okay, so if we estimate the number here, let me see how much we can estimate there. Look at these ones. These two, they're not far from each other there, but they are telling us about this one is 5,6, this one is 6.1. This one's the difference is 4. So I don't know. Okay, let's also do the same. We can rob the system, we can rob the system. Okay, how about we say let's look at this one. If you look at the difference here is how much? The difference here is 4, and then this one went up by 4. So how about we also say this one minus 4, 0,4 here, 5,6 minus 0,4, and then it will give us 5.2. No, 5.2. They will disagree with us, these people. And there's a space, there's a very huge gap in there if we check. So okay, let's estimate something like 4.7. Okay, so if estimate something like 4.7 is how much? Is 4.7%. This is the percentage of people that felt unsafe in 2020. But then this percentage represent 2.8 billion. Okay, so, I mean million. So we need the total number of people. So if we need the total number of people, we're going to take the number of people available. Let me show you. This number represents 4.7. But then what do we need? We need 100% of the people. So what are we going to do? We're going to multiply by 100 because we need everyone. Out of what? Out of only 7.5. This 7.5 is the people. The 2.8 that said they are feeling unsafe. So you're going to have 2.85 multiplied by 100 over 4.7, and that will give us a total of let me see, it gives me a comma. Okay, let me write it in full. 2 million, it's 2 million, okay, 2,850,000. Yeah, 1 2 3 1 2 3 multiply by 100 over 4.7. It's gonna give me these decimals. I think this is a billion. Let me do this, use this calculator here. This one is the scientific, it will give me a nice one. 2,85123. Yeah, multiply by 100 divided by 4.7. So this gives me, in full, I'm going to write it in full, 60 billion 638 297,872.34. So they say we must round it to the nearest 100,000. So let's look at 100,000. I think 100,000 is here. 100,000 is here. So we need to round off this to the nearest 100,000. So we can say this is 60 billion 608,300,000, because we need to convert this. So we say this is 97, so we can round it off to 300,000. Okay, now let's move on to the next one. They say the percentage range for the people who felt very safe is 7.5, and the lowest percentage is 41.1. Calculate the highest percentage. So we know that when we calculate the range is equals to maximum minus the minimum, of which the maximum is the highest and the minimum is the lowest. So here we have the lowest and we have the range. We are given the range of 7.7, which is equals to the max, which is the highest. This is what we are looking for. So let's write what? The highest by h minus the lowest. The lowest was given as 41.1. So we are looking for the h, but now we need to get rid of this. So when we transpose the negative 41, so it's going to be 7.7 plus 44.1 is equals to the highest value there. So our highest value is going to be, okay, 7.7 plus 44.1. So our highest value is going to be 51.8%, and that is going to be our highest value there. Okay, so guys, I'm going to cut my video right here. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope that this video is going to help you to pass your exam. Good luck and then do the best in your exams. See you next time.